Hey guys, Justin Jones here with WealthWise Partners. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video today. This week's topic, we're going to talk about taxes and how they can impact your client's retirement income and why it might make sense to pay a little bit more taxes on the seed rather than the harvest. Today, we're going to really talk a lot about IULs and how they can function inside of your client's retirement account. So this is the LIRPs, the LIFs, the LIFEs, right? The life insurance is a retirement plan. Life insurance is a financial engine. Life insurance is a financial tool. All of those things, because we know that there are only two things that are certain in life, and that is death and taxes. And life insurance, specifically the IULs that are out there, can help you with both of those. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk about in this example, and I want to show you how throughout the course of this, how you can position this with your clients. So if we assume in this example, we've got a guy that's, let's say he's 55 and he's going to retire in 10 years. He makes about $125,000 a year. And like most Americans, he's going to save about 5% of his income in some sort of retirement savings vehicle. If he does that, that's about $6,250. In our example here, let's assume that he gets a 6.5% rate of return, which is pretty average for what the market's doing right now. If he invests that every year, he's going to have $84,340. I want you to remember that number as we go through here. And keep in mind, there is no assumption of fees in this example, right? We're just looking at how much you put in, what the straight rate of return would be. No fees assumed in this example. But now let's look at if he were to do an alternative option. Let's say he paid taxes on that money today. Let's take that $6,250 and we'll subtract taxes from it, get about $4,187. So you're already thinking, all right, he's going to be investing less, right? And so he's going to get less of a return. Well, over the course of that 10-year period, if we put it into the IUL, and there are fees in this, right? There's the administrative fees and the cost of insurance and all that. He's only got about $38,000 in that IUL. So immediately in your mind, you're thinking, why would we want to take something that's got less than half of the value compared to what that qualified account would be? Well, let's go ahead and talk about income for a second, because ultimately the size of that account doesn't mean anything if you can't efficiently withdraw money from it. So if your client's going to take money from that qualified account, and let's say he's using a 4% rate of withdrawal, there's a lot of research out there that says 4% is too high now based on current market conditions, that it should be less than 2%. But since 4% is kind of a retirement standby, an old retirement rule, let's go ahead and use that. So before taxes, he would have gotten $3,373. Now, if we take taxes away from that, again, because we're going to be taxing all of this money, none of it's been taxed up to this point, you're at $2,260. Compare that to the IUL that's going to pay $3,090, and that's all tax-free. So there's 37% more income coming out of that IUL than there is out of their taxable account. So is that tax break that they're getting up front really worth it? You could be talking about $30,000 or more taxable difference over the course of that distribution phase. That's a big difference, guys. You could be talking about a 37% difference every single year in income based on taxes. And we're giving that qualified account all the benefit of the doubt. We're not doing any sort of fees inside of it. We're not taking into account any losses that it could have. All of those things are protected by the IUL, right? We know what the fees are going to be inside of that. We know that it can't lose any value. So there's a lot of things to be said to that, the benefit of that IUL account. How do you get started with this? What do you talk to the client about when you're going through this process? Well, for me, it's as simple as having a conversation when your client comes into a review or when you have a prospect sitting in front of you. You can start the discussion as easily as saying, would you rather pay taxes today at a known quantity, or would you rather pay taxes later at an unknown quantity when you also have a significantly higher amount of value inside of that taxable account? I know it's cliche, but the whole idea of paying taxes on the seed versus the harvest makes a lot of sense. You know, do you want to save $1,500 to $2,000 this year, or do you want to save $30,000 or $35,000 or $40,000 over the course of your retirement income? Because right now, you can pay taxes right now when you're making money, right? When you're still working, when you have the opportunity to overcome that tax hit. When you're in retirement and you're living on a fixed income and you know there's less money coming in most situations, a lot of times you want to make sure that you're not getting a big tax hit then. So it's easy to have that discussion. It's real quick to get it started. What I suggest you do is when you've got a client coming in, give me a call. Let's talk through how you can position that with them and how to have that conversation with them. So I hope you learned a little bit of something today. I hope you can understand how this makes a little bit of sense for you to be able to position with your clients, and hope you have a great day.